In this episode, we have Tanya. She makes 2.5 million Jamaican dollars per month. However, she wants to enter into the Airbnb business by buying a property that costs 47 million Jamaican dollars. Now, will this business succeed or will it sink? With every future millionaire audit, there are numbers in this story, and the numbers never tell a lie. So if you want to see more of what this person will be doing with 2.5 million Jamaican dollars per month, then all you have to do is stay tuned to the rest of the video. Wagwan future millionaires, welcome back to another video. Now, I am so shocked because I'm recording this video Monday, so that means the video of the financial audit with our teacher Simone was yesterday. And I have received 18 financial audits, the submissions on the Google Forms that I have posted in last week's video. 18 people have submitted their audits, and 17 out of the 18 agreed for their audits to be featured on this channel. So all me have to say, big up to the future millionaires who really love this series, and I can see that you guys really want this series to go far. So if you want your finances or your financial life to be audited by me, then the Future Millionaire audit is down below in the description. All you have to do is click it and fill it out to the best of your ability, and we will both get a copy, and I will hopefully review it on this channel right here. Let me introduce you to Tanya. Now, Tanya is an entrepreneur. She's in her 20s. She's a single mom with one child. Now she works in sales, and as far as I know with sales is that they have a commission base, meaning that they get paid based on the business that they bring in, so they get a percentage. So let's say if Tanya is in car sales or motor vehicle sales and she sells a vehicle for 25 million, and let's say she gets a 10% of that, then that's 2.5 million she's taking home right there just from that sale. But as we can see, my example there is not far off, because Tanya is bringing home a massive 2.5 million Jamaican dollars monthly. The kicker to this 2.5 million is after taxes. Tanya, you're making my dream salary right here. This is what this hustle is for right now. Tanya, yeah, rolling our bread. And this is going to be strange for a lot of people, but Tanya rents her home. Now people would think that because she's making big bank money, brick on brick, that she should own her own home. But Tanya decides to rent. She also has her own business, and the big story of this video is that she recently purchased a property for 47. Let me repeat that, for 47 million Jamaican dollars. And her plan with it is that she wants to turn it into an Airbnb, and hopefully the cash flow from this Airbnb can cover her mortgage and generate extra income. But will this really add up though? Another side note, Tanya also has her own business. It didn't state what type of business here on this financial audit. The information was redacted for personal preferences, because I think that if she tells you her business name, then chances are you'll figure out who she is. And I guess a person that's making this income doesn't really want people to know who they are. They're just presenting this information for educational purposes to the masses, to show them these incomes are possible and you could do it too if you just know where to put your sales. So she's in sales and she's an entrepreneur, so you guys can get into that space. Now, a lot of people may think that you need a degree or you need a master's or a doctorate to make these salaries. But the thing is, if you're familiar with the Caribbean system here, when we're in high school, we do CXC, which is the Caribbean Examination Council. And that is when you are finished with high school. However, you have sixth form, which is almost like pre-university in some countries. And that is what Tanya graduated with. She did the CAPE, and that's the sixth form examinations. Tanya, that's her highest level of education, and she's presented on this form right here. So for those who say, can't make nothing unless you go university, well, nah, work hard enough. Work harder, bro, because Tanya, her highest level of education is CAPE. Now, reading all this and getting a breakdown of who Tanya is, couple things are clear. She's very ambitious and she's not afraid to take risk. But with $40 million in debt and a fluctuating income, because with sales, as she mentioned right here, is that it's hard to budget accurately as the commissions vary. So this salary that we're seeing here, or this income, may be an average. For some months it may be higher, and for some months it may be lower. 2.5 average, that's not a bad bargain at all. I would do that. So her income fluctuates every month. Now, that's going to be a little hard, especially because Tanya has a car that is worth 7 million Jamaican dollars. However, she only has $5 million to go on the loan. The current car market right now in Jamaica, the $7 million is almost like the average for a 2024, let's say, Kia, or just an SUV across the line. So this is the going rate for these SUVs. So based on this price, I'm guessing that she has an SUV. And since she has a child, and most ladies tend to go for vehicles like this, so more than likely, fingers crossed, I'm going to say Kia. A betting man, I'm going to bet on a Kia. But anyways, she has $5 million to go on this loan, so she paid down $2 million so far. So that's not bad. With her income, she can more than afford a vehicle like this. So I'm not even going to bash her that she has a $7 million loan, because that's easy pickings. People who make way less than that, people who make like $300,000 a month, are buying $7 million vehicles. So Tanya, you're good. Right now the vehicle could have more expensive if you ask me. Coming from a guy who loves cars. So let's jump into the meat of the matter right here. So Tanya makes, after tax, 2.5 million Jamaican dollars per month. Her expenses are $715,000. So Tanya's net income after taxes and total expenses is $1,785,000. So that means she's saving around 71% of her income and only spending around 29%. So Tanya, you're gonna lead. Now she has $6,750,000 in savings. I would love to see a bit more here, because savings is going to be a lot of factors, and based on Tanya's numbers right here, people will see this and think that all of it is salary. But I would bet anything that this is her commissions plus money from her business. So she's pulling all her income together. So if you're going to pool all your income and present it, then chances are I want to see some savings that is not only for you but also for your business. And the reason I'm saying for business is that you need some runway. You need to make sure you cover employees, cover rent, cover expenses. And generally you want to cover like 4 to 6 months, just like you'll do with your expense, with your emergency fund. The same thing that you'll do with your emergency fund is the same thing that you'll do for your business. You need some runway. You need at least 4 to 6 months of capital saved up, just in case business slow, just in case the commissions drop and you really need to cover your expenses. Unless it's a strictly online business and you're only paying for like digital products, then maybe the expenses are going to be extremely low, but I would still love to see more money here for savings. So what I would like to see Tanya do is use the 50-30-20 method, because this way I can see that 50% of her money is going to needs, 30% is going to wants, and 20% is going to savings and investments. So let's run a quick number on her savings and investments. So her net income, the take home, is 1.785 million, and I want to know 20% of that. So she can invest and save each month comfortably 357,000 Jamaican dollars. That's insane. Easy money, easy pickings. So let's divide that by 2. Ideally she can save $178,500 each month. Now if we times that by the year, that's $2 million within a year so far. And if we times that by, let's say she wants to save for like 3 months, then that's the 6 million. Now looking at the number, the savings should be easy to cover her expenses, being that her expenses is 715,000 Jamaican dollars. And if she saves a comfortable 10% of her salary, then that's $170,000 per month. And she can save up, God who knows how much money. But as somebody who's running a business and for her emergency fund, I would love to see more money here. Let's do the expenses, $715,000, right? If that's 6 months, then that's $4.29 million. So that's 4,229,000 Jamaican dollars. That's going to be 6 months of her expenses. That could be her emergency fund. But what about the business? Let's say you're going to times that by 2 because we're going to factor in a business also. And that's 8,580,000. Wow, really I think small. It seems like you're okay with the savings. I was just overreacting, I guess. But for me, based on who I am and maybe my risk, I would love to see it at 10 million based on the amount that I make. So that's just me. In all honesty, Simone with this 6.7, you're good. You're in good standing. When you run the maths, she clearly have 6 months worth of her expenses put down, which is good. She have that. Only thing is that I want 6 months of the business put down also. So maybe bump that up to the 9 million and then Simone, you should be good. Now with investments, yeah, the 5 million could be more. With her income, the 5 million could be more, because if she just look at it 1 month and say, yo, the goal I forget $10 million 1 year in an investment account. If she has $10 million in her investment account at a 10% return, that's $1 million she's getting every year without doing nothing. If she had stocks accumulating and they're giving her like 10 to 15%, she could easily make $1 million per year just off dividends and then capital gains, maybe even more. So she's leaving a lot on the table by not capitalizing on her investments. And I'm not sure if this investment is just equities or if she's even concentrating on retirement. Let's say she wants to put 10% of her income into retirement. Now she makes 1.785 times, let's say she's putting 10% into retirement. So $178,500. She can drop that every month. For 12 months, she would have $2.14 million in her investment account. So let's times that by 5 years. In 5 years, she would have the $10 million. And if this money is continually growing, let's say my pension right now is growing at 6% per annum. I think inflation is at 6.5. So give or take, the money is remaining the same. But if she is investing her money, let me run it on a quick calculator right now. So let's say she put down 1 year's worth of the money for true. So that's 178,500. She put down 1 year of that. So that's going to be 2.14 million. So she put on that money. So that's $2,142,000. That's the initial. She just save up 1 year pension money, 10%, and just put that down in a lump sum. Then her monthly contribution is the same, 178,500. So she's in her 20s right now. She says 20 to 25. So honestly, let's say she has another 30 years, maybe even 40 years to work. But let's say she wants to retire when she's 55. So she has 30 years for that money to compound. And an estimate of 6% per year. And this money is going to compound annually. In the 30 years, Simone will have $181,645,192.97. This is astronomical. Simone, you could be a multi-million, not Simone. Tanya, I mix up the names. Tanya, you could be a multi-millionaire by just investing 10% of your salary for the next 30 years at a modest 6% in a pension fund or something. That's just your pension. We're not talking about aggressive investing here. So what if she don't invest it? So that's fine. Let's say she doesn't invest it for 30 years. That $2 million would be worth $64,260,000. So you can see that big gain. More than double right here. So which do you rather? Saving up that $2 million each year for 30 years or just invest it in your pension right there, which will be growing to 181,645,000. Can you just imagine that? And then what if she take a next 10% now and put it in a stock market also and getting like 10%? I could run the maths on that. The CM 178,000 because so we have like 20% for savings and investment. What if she want to use the whole 20%, like 10% in pension and 10% in equities? CM 30 years, the CM initial down payment, and let's say she's getting 15% because we're going to add capital gains and also dividends. It's going to compound annually. If Simone continues at this rate and she get the 15% every year with an initial investment of $2 million and a monthly contribution of $178,500 for 30 years at a 15% return, that 15% includes dividends and capital gains, should be a billionaire, a Jamaican billionaire. Simone would have 1 billion. Power of compounding. Tanya, why do I keep calling you Simone? Well, your name is Tanya. I'm so sorry about that. I'm new to this whole thing, so the names are slipping. But Tanya, you are leaps and bounds ahead of the game if you just invest consistently and just play the game easy, and you get it straight out the bat. So the investments really need to go up. Now we're moving on to the debt section. So now for the big news, the big deal. Tanya has 47 million Jamaican dollars in debt. No, this is not an empty debt right here. This is not frivolous spending or living lavishly, as them say. We are living lavish. Tanya, she wants to list her property on Airbnb so that she can cover the monthly mortgage expense. Hopefully, she can also buy another property. That's what she wants, to purchase another property after she covers the monthly mortgage through Airbnb with this. Now, this is where I have a gripe in a way. Airbnb is not a smooth sailing as easy as what people think it is. And I'm just going to run some math right here and just present the information to you, and then you can take from that what you may. So let's break down the mortgage details. The property costs around 47 million Jamaican dollars. Now, if she puts down $5 million on the down payment, because you need to do like 10% for the down payment, and NHT is going to give her $7.5 million because that's what you get for your NHT contribution is if you're going to match, because the banks allow you to get a portion of the money from NHT, which is 7.5 million. And generally, they're going to give you at 5% based off your income. Based on her income, she's on the highest bracket, so she's going to get at 5%. And the bank is financing the whole loan for 9%. And they're going to give you 40 years. Yeah, I got this information from an institution, so it is legit. Interest rate for over 40 years to repay. Her monthly mortgage, monthly payment for the 40 years is going to be $302,284.46. So basically $300,000 for 40 years. Now, in all honesty, that's a manageable amount for Tanya. Very easy. If you compare it to our $2.5 million income for the month, that is easy. That is less than a percentage. That's so easy, because they said they should spend like 25% on living expenses. So 25% of your salary on living expenses, like 625,000. So she have money for spare, but it's her take home. So it's not the 2.5, it's her take home. And that's where a lot of people get the maths wrong, because you're living in the gross and not in the net. So let me do it at 25% for 1.7 million, $446,250. This amount should be what she spends on her living expenses, mortgage, bills for the home. Everything that concerns living, this is what she should spend on it. No, let's say she wants an Airbnb feasibility study to be done so she can know if the Airbnb makes sense. I'm going to do that for her. Now, for her Airbnb to succeed, she'll need to bring in at least $302,284.46 monthly to break even. No, a lot of people forget that Airbnb comes with extra maintenance, taxes, and hosting fees. Let's look at the occupancy rate to know if she can keep people in there based on the money that she's charging, if she can cover her fees. Let's assume she charges $25,000 per night. Now, to cover her mortgage, she'd need like 13 fully booked nights per month, which is not bad. That's actually doable in a strong market. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They are in a soft market where Airbnb is only on tourist occasions. So when the season's slow, you're not buying your place. So you have to look at a place that has some business apart from tourism that always keeps the rooms full at least every 2 weeks. You need the place full. So if her occupancy drops below 50%, she risks losing money instead of earning it. Now Airbnb hosting has other fees apart from covering the mortgage. You have the cleaning fees. You have the repairs because people can come in and wreck your place. You have the utilities. People run your AC, microwave on, often electric stove are run whole time. And plus you have to pay Airbnb a cut of the money to some platform fees. So that can easily add another 100,000 Jamaican dollars to the monthly payment. So anywhere from 100 to 150,000 Jamaican dollars to the monthly payment. So that means that her revenue target would be around 450,000 Jamaican dollars per month. Be mindful, let's run the numbers again on her living expenses, which is the 25%, 446. So she really doesn't make like $3,000 if she go with the Airbnb business. No, people would say yes, she's building equity and ray. If it was a house, with land space and stuff like that, then yes, she could go with it because in all honesty, she have money, she can afford it. But if you see if it's an apartment, yes, the value will go up in about, I don't know, nothing compared to a house. That if anything you can say, I'm gonna live in the house, my family can grow in the house. Airbnb just, I don't know, that's a lot to spend on an Airbnb to just break even or still have to be doing a lot of work, because if you hire a cleaning crew, then that's going to cut more into your expenses. If you hire management staff, that's going to cut more into your profit. So you would have to be the one maybe going there and cleaning up. With the money she makes, she'll pay people. But it's like you just own a property just to tell people that you own property. And that's my views on most of the real estate. If you're going to do residential real estate for money, for profit. If you're going to build a complex or build a small housing scheme or build apartments for low income earners, then yeah, but Airbnb route, in all honesty, when I see people do real estate, the people who are actually rich off real estate are the people who build complexes, build plazas, have a container plaza, rent out office spaces. Not necessarily the people who do monthly renting. Like, yes, it can cover the mortgage, but some of the times they're still coming out of pocket to pay your utilities and stuff like that. So yes, you have an asset, but some people not getting the cash flow that they want. And that's what I see happen a lot with people. So the thing is, Airbnb is great on paper, but you see the local market and the demand, it will really make or break you. Because for 1 month, let's say she doesn't get that occupancy that she wants, then she have to come out of pocket with that. So the business not doing good. So those are things that people should really consider. Try to go into a high demand area where not only tourists come, but people who come from overseas to work, the foreigners or the specialists or the doctors who come out here and they want some place to stay. Try to get them also. You have to know your area, study it inside out. Maybe a real estate person can tell me that, yo, Demetress, you're chat complete bullshit and you don't know the market, and I can put this person on and make them millions of Airbnb. Yes, good. Reach out to Tanya. She would love that, because I can see that real estate is really what she is comfortable investing in. That's what she really wants to invest in. I just need for her to understand it a little bit more before she dive head first into such a big financial undertaking of $47 million. Now, again, what Simone needs to do is market research. She needs to analyze the local Airbnb listings to see average occupancy rates and nightly rates and seasonal demand. Second, she has to do a break-even analysis, factoring all the costs including taxes, utilities, and cleaning. And can she realistically generate 450,000 Jamaican dollars monthly in revenue? She have to decide that and run the numbers for herself, and her real estate agent have to help her and have her best interest in heart, hopefully. And what's the backup plan? What happens if Airbnb income doesn't meet your expectation? Can she cover the mortgage through other means like long-term rental? You have to look on things like that, because yes, she can cover it from her salary, but then she's a play for one place. She don't need it. She rent somewhere. I mean, no, she rent lower than the mortgage which she'll pay right now on this property. So I guess at the end of the day, maybe she can just move out where she is right now and live in this if stuff hits the fan. But run those analysis and see where it takes you, Tanya. Now, Tanya mentions that she has a business, and this is where I would want her to focus on really, because she said one of her goals for this year is to profit $4 million from her business. Now, that sounds good to me, in all honesty, because if she can profit $4 million, why not just put some of that Airbnb money into the business and see how far you can go that business and how much you can increase the revenues by. I always think that, business doesn't really have a cap. You can grow that business because it seems to be working for her. So I want to see the full potential of that business. I really want her to invest in scaling her business. So she has a goal of generating $4 million in profit from her business this year. So instead of trying so much to capitalize on real estate, what I would do is that I would allocate some of those funds to marketing, to hiring, and to expanding whatever products she's offering or whatever services she's offering. And this to me has the potential to give her way more earnings than Airbnb. Yes, it would be like she's working 2 jobs, but people always think that Airbnb is passive until they start doing it and realize that, me I do a lot of work with this same way. Not shooting it down, but I think that maybe focusing on her business is a better bet. Another thing that she could do is diversify the real estate investments. Instead of taking that 47 million and focusing on a one go property, maybe buy some smaller fixer uppers, buy some 10 million, $15 million house and them stuff there, revamp them and sell them for like 30. You understand? So you spend 15 million for your house, you spend the next 10 million, fix it up, and maybe sell it for 30 or 35. I think that would be somewhat better. So you can buy, your money can go further away there. You can get back your cash same time and flip it again. And also I think that she should focus on more liquid investments. As I said, like look at some stocks. If she's overseas, she could maybe invest in some ETFs, some diversified funds. Put the money in something that gives you that 10 to 15 or maybe even 20% per year. Look on avenues apart from real estate. Look at avenues like stocks and equities and bonds. They can give you that return. Plus, your money is easily accessible because all you have to do is sell one of those instruments and you can get back your money. So those are some tips for Tanya. Now let's move on to the mindset part. I want Tanya to change her mindset because the income that she's making, it's no longer time to think small. Think big. The game big right now. The field open. Let me say it's a word. The field is open. You are Cristiano Ronaldo with this salary right now. Accomplish big tasks. Be bold and align that mindset with your decision making. Align it with your long-term goals. Maybe she shouldn't even be looking at the property. Maybe she's looking at a piece of land where she can develop on a nice 20-unit plaza. That will give you a lot more money. Secondly, focus on high impact goals. Think about your business. It can grow so much more. You are making around $2 million per year for it profit. You want to make $4 million next year. You can do it. You just need to focus and streamline your goals and streamline the money into the business. Because sometimes when we're too scattered, we're focusing on real estate and we're focusing on growing our business. Sometimes neither of them grows and you're just wasting money. So if you can just streamline it, prioritize the goals maybe to one, and you can see how far it reaches. And the last tip I have for her is that I want her to focus on financial freedom. Like, what does it look like for you? When do you plan to retire? At what age? What does it look like? What type of lifestyle? I'm going to use this Ramit Sethi saying, I don't remember his exact line, but he says, what is your dream life? What is your rich life? That is what he said. Develop that idea and work it back. Re-engineer. As a German from Learn, Grow, Invest would say, re-engineer that idea, re-engineer that thought. What would my life look like 20 years from now or 30 years from now if I continue on this path? And once you have an idea of that or that image in your head, it puts you at ease or it gives you a long-term goal to work towards. Because some of the times we're just too number focused. But if we just have a dream, nothing is wrong with dreaming, nothing is wrong with visualizing. But have that dream and align smart goals to it. and you can get to that dream. Cool. So the action plan, the practical steps, I don't really have much to give to Tanya right here because Tanya is doing the shit. Tanya is living the life. But you know, everybody can use a little bit more tips to help maximize their income and their assets. Now I want Tanya to evaluate the Airbnb property thoroughly, run the detailed market analysis and break-even calculation. And if it doesn't meet your goals, then consider selling or switching to long-term rental. Pay down the car loan strategically. Now a lot of people with it, I would say that she should pay down the car loan in one go, but honestly, that payment to her is minuscule. So if it is something that will affect her cash flow, if she should just pay off everything in one go, then don't. Keep the cash flow running into your business and keep the cash flow running into your Airbnb. If the monthly payment is low, then allocate that cash flow to like higher returns, like higher income return opportunities like the business or investments, like I said, like with stocks. You don't have to rush to pay off this car loan in all honesty. Third, focus on scaling the business. I can't say this enough. Allocate more resources to the business and she can have more potential to generate exponential returns, because I always say the business has better potential to give you the money that you want over real estate property, unless the real estate property is a business that is generating monthly cash flow. I would like her to diversify her investments, put more money in the stocks, diversify into stocks, not just real estate. Even if a 10% or 20% per month of the take-home salary, put it into your pension or put it into equities, because we've run the maths, we've run the examples, and we see how much money she can be a billionaire. Envy you. Now a lot of people would notice that I didn't touch on the budgeting part. Now with Tanya, she says that she's an uncontrolled spender. She says, I'm not often able to stick to a budget or control my spending. How often do you budget? Almost never. Do you currently budget? No. And how often do you adjust it? Almost never. Now, there comes a time when people make so much income that if they just have a mental figure of what they shouldn't surpass each month, then that is good enough. Not everybody needs to budget every single penny and every single dime. It works best when we have limited cash. Yes, a lot of people may overspend a big salary, but according to her expenses right here and her lifestyle, it's hard for her to overspend. She may overspend when it comes to like the mortgage that she's going to take on for this property, but apart from that, her living expenses, she's well within her means. She doesn't have to budget as strict and rigorous as somebody who's making $200,000 per month. She can afford to have a mental budget and maybe check in once a month on how things are going. You just need a spending plan and keep in line with that top figure. Let's say you don't want to surpass $800,000 per month. Tanya, you're good. I'm not going to stress the budget. Only if things are getting bad and you're going to incorporate more business into your lifestyle and more investment properties, then yeah. But apart from that, you're good. Now I decided to end this video with a nice little letter of appreciation that I wrote to Tanya. To our entrepreneur, you've built an incredible income and the possibilities are endless. Focus on the big picture, think strategically, and use your resources to create a future of financial freedom and a future that you are well on to be a billionaire, Tanya. So what do you think about that? Do you think that the Airbnb strategy is something that she should really look into? Do you think I'm a fool? Do you think I don't know nothing about real estate? Do you think, yo, Demetress, you are wrong. Property is the way to go. Real estate is the way to go. No stocks, no business. Buy the property, Tanya. Well, if you disagree with me, then comment down below and let me hear your reasons for why the Airbnb is a good bet for Tanya. I am siding with business for Tanya. If you liked this episode of the Future Millionaires Audit, then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever these episodes are live. The goal is to publish an episode every Sunday at 10 a.m. Jamaican time, so tune in. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for liking the content. And until next time, work hard, make money, make a lot of it, and happy investing. What is under my nose? I'm out. We catch you this week. But I can't say I never catch it.